maybe. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to this very fun, great edition of Drive Time. I am, of course, Matty Ice, joined with Scooter and Showtime Sarah. So, yeah, it's June 15th. We'll get through we're going to get to some other sports stuff later, I promise. But, of course, we have to start with the Carolina Hurricanes winning the Stanley Cup last night. This first little part of the show is going to be very cool. But before I get into all that, Scooter, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm good. It's good. I'm happy for all you folks down there that, grew up in Carolina or went to Carolina, became a Carolina Hurricane fan. That's really great for all you guys. My one friend up in Hartford, who still is a Carolina fan, he can suck it. But for you guys, God bless you all. So you deserve this great team.
Of course, I do appreciate that. And of course, you can follow, subscribe to us. And I do believe I did hear already. So I already have to change this one here real quick. So let's get this one in here because I already heard. I heard a Hartford town already. So let's get that updated there. I was going to try. I know look with your Hartford connection. We've had this discussion many times before on the show, but I do appreciate that you're at least with Carmanos being gone, it's probably a little bit easier for you to swallow.
My brother sent me this week. This is a 1981 Nick Fotiu, Hartford Whalers card on a T-shirt, and he was a favorite of us. Ranger fans love Nick Fotiu, but Whaler fans loved him. He was back, New England Whaler fan, New England Whaler player. So, and then he wound up being with the Rangers again. But it was cool to get that from my brother. So, a little history.
All right, I'm gonna start this here now. This is where it's gonna get fun here. I think here we can get everybody in here. Who are we missing? Let's see here. I gotcha. We may all be on here. Who am I missing? Frank, you're here somewhere.
I'll say Frank.
Hold on here. I gotta find the right one.
What's up, Vic?
See, he can hear us though. Just for some reason, Vic, Frank, you're the only picture not showing on this thing here for some reason. But we'll figure it out. I promise you, I'll figure it out here. I'll find the right button here. But I can hear you. That's half the battle. So, all right. So this is what we're gonna do. I brought a few of my favorite Caniacs along the ride here. So real quick introductions. Now we're gonna start off with Joel and Allie here in a little bit because these two made the trip to Vegas. They were there live in the building for the game. You're back in Raleigh, North Carolina now, right?
Charlotte.
So they're back in Charlotte. How they have a voice is beyond me, but we're going to get to you guys in a second. Then up here we have Mike, who a long history with Mike. We go way back from the Bonefish and what team was the Hounds days of playing hockey with each other. We then, of course, reffing him with the Bonefish. Then, as it turned out, we ended up getting tickets with the Carolina Hurricanes in Section 336, where we were right next to each other, not knowing that we were going to be right next to each other in the rows. And that goes back to the days of the terrible Carolina Hurricanes from like 2010 to 2015, the dark days where we have 4,000 people there. So we got Mike here. Then of course we got our Lockberry Court connection. So there's Big Vic and well, that's Little Vic technically. Is Big Vic with you or?
Yeah, Vic's here.
Big Vic, Little Vic from the neighborhood, and then Frank is here. I got to find the right setting here where I can get him up here. Let's try this one.
I was gonna say, if you need, swap me out.
I don't want to swap
if you
out.
But if you need to.
1, 2.
There's
supposed to be a setting here that we have where we can get 10 people on here. I just got to find the right setting. So that's okay. All right, so let's do this. So Scooter, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm just going to take you out for a second, Scooter, so I can get everyone here.
Yeah.
But you can still comment, I think. I'll do it that way. Let's try this. Hold on. We're going to try this here.
Oh my word.
I'm going to remove now Frank. There we go. Frankie, there we are. All right, now if I do
Hey,
this
Frank.
right,
What's up?
and Scooter, you should now be able to be back here. We'll hear you, but you won't be able to we won't see you, but we'll see you plenty here in a little bit. All right.
Sounds good
So
to
this
me.
is gonna be fun. So all right, Joel and Allie. So let's start with this. When did you guys decide to go to Game 6?
12:30, yes, on Saturday afternoon.
And how? So you found a flight, got tickets.
I was picking up lunch for the family, and I just decided to look and see how much it would be to go to Game 7 if there was going to be a Game 7. And so I looked up prices in Raleigh, and as everybody knows, they've been kind of crazy lately. And I said, well, I don't think we can do that. What about let's just see for fun. What's it going to be to go to Vegas? And we looked it up, and we said, you know what? That we can do. And now I travel for work a lot, have airline miles, hotel points. And so the travel aspect of it was a no-brainer. The difficult part was at 12:30, could we get the dogs boarded and the kids put up for the night with the grandparents in time to make a flight at 6:30 on Saturday afternoon?
And obviously the answer was yes.
Yes, we made it happen.
I'm seeing things in the suitcases left and right. Like, let's go, kids.
And how old are the kids now?
9 and 4, 2 boys.
Yeah.
Wow. So you're getting a 9 and 4-year-old ready to go in record time out the door, and then you're there in Vegas. So describe the atmosphere in the arena, because on TV it sounded like there was a good amount of Caniacs there. So how was it really there?
When they started doing their cheers, we were drowning them out. Let's go Canes.
Yeah.
Let's go Canes.
And the Bussy chant was loud and clear
their
too.
knight was banging on his shield, and I was yelling, "Let's go Canes," and then he would stop.
Yeah.
And I think if I saw the one post right on Facebook, you guys ended up being like right on the street with them as they're walking out with the Stanley Cup. Did I see that one right? That video?
We actually ended up walking
friends.
down, and hanging out in the place where they actually ended up going to their post-game dinner.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so that
how's
was them
that?
walking in with the cup to their dinner. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how's that experience? Being
It
in
was
there with them,
unreal.
watch them celebrate.
Yeah. Totally just amazing.
There's no words.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, seeing those guys so pumped up still, 3 hours after the game or whatever, and just living life, loving it,
We got to reconnect with old friends. We made new friends. It was like, you have this emblem, your family. It was just the coolest thing.
I can only imagine that. That's such a cool experience to get to do. So now let me real quick shift gears to our Lockberry Court connection. So Frank, you got to go to one of the watch parties there in Raleigh for Game 4, right? So
we were at the watch party for that one. Yep.
And you took your sons to that one. How was that experience doing that with your kids?
I still, my voice is still hoarse. Matt, as I went to University of Florida. I'm well versed in starting loud, staying loud, losing my voice, hurting my hearing. And that was literally what we tried to do. Me and my buddy Chris and his son and my son Aiden are good friends of my older son Jack, who both of them. It was for a game where there was no actual live team playing. It's the most surreal experience, and it's louder than anything that the fake production that they could put out in Vegas could ever be. So.
And then, so who watched it there with you at home? Was it just you at home last night, or was anyone there watching?
No, it was me and Jack and Aiden and Jack's new wife, and even Jen came out and watched the third with us, and it was a pretty emotional time because, like you said, when we were going to those season ticket games, when we bought those as a crew, there's a lot of miserable nights, those 9 years or so, where we weren't sniffing. getting to the Stanley Cup playoffs. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, it was a long time coming, and I can't think of an organization and a coach and a group that deserves it more.
Very, very nice. I like that too. So now let's bring in the other part of the Lockberry Court
Okay,
crew with
y'all be
the
quiet.
Vicks and stuff. So Vic, so you guys were watching at home, I assume too?
Yeah. We're here with the nephew, so it's a little bit loud.
That's okay.
You can check out their attire.
I see it. Yes, they're in the proper attire. I like it. So did the family get to watch it all together yesterday, or?
Me and Dad watched it together. They watched it here. So
Okay.
yeah.
Texting back and forth between then.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Excellent. So and,
Yep.
and
I'm with Frank. There were a lot of lean times, although they were fun times. I mean, you get to have fun with your family and your friends like we did when we went out there. And we could get $9.99 tickets and see the games. But those days won't ever happen again. Never.
I think you're correct on that. So, and Frank and Vic, you will be happy to know, immediately after the game, and Sarah knows because I took the phone and I did this. I immediately ran outside and did the big Ric Flair woo just for old time's sake, just like we were in Lockberry Court in 06 when we had our watch parties in 06. So it
We
happened.
did it last night too, Matt.
I think you had to. I think every go ahead.
All week I've been singing, come on, let's go.
I may or may not, for Teddy with my grants yesterday before Game 7, I played the Let's Go Canes song, and I had him doing the hand motions, for clapping along with the song. So I think this was all good luck. So all right, Mike, let me bring you in here. So I know you and your family have been longtime Canes fans too, and dealt through a lot of these fun, terrible years. Where were you celebrating that last night?
I was at home, me and the whole family, my 20-year-old son, my 16-year-old daughter, and my wife. And I had tickets to Game 7. And before the game started last night, all I said to everybody was, I don't want to go to Game 7 on Wednesday. But we just hung out at the house. We had a good old time. I let out a big woo at the end. High fives and hugs all around, of course.
That's good stuff. So
on the edge of my seat, let's just put it that way. The last couple of games,
I needed that third goal to feel. I didn't feel good until the empty netter. I was like, even at 2-0, plus, the one hits the post. I'm just like, oh my goodness, where are we going with this? And then I have to tell you guys honestly, my daughter Sarah almost jinxed this whole entire thing last night. Yeah, you did.
No, I did
Because
not.
she said that she wanted a Game 7 because she might not be able to see a lot of Game 6. I was like, you can't put that out there to the hockey gods. But it was before the game, and she took it back.
I didn't say I wanted it. I was just saying that it technically wasn't opposable to me. It doesn't. It's different.
That's the same thing to the hockey gods. Am I right, guys? Right? Like you can't say stuff like that. But she corrected it, and and everything was better.
But you were telling me to say no to IHOP. Have you met me? Do you see how I down pancakes? I have
know,
to cancel IHOP, guys. It's so serious.
That's right, and that's the right thing. You appease the hockey gods by canceling your IHOP. So that's what you have to do. See?
Yeah, and it's the same thing with Matt with Delinda last night. Like with 4 minutes left to go, she says, "There's only 4 minutes left. There's only 4 minits left." And it's like, okay, I said, you just gotta be quiet until the buzzer, and then we can talk about it. No jinxes, I've been there, we've been there and seen that before.
Yeah, because Ash tried to get the FaceTime going with me and Sarah, and I would not even start the FaceTime until the empty net goal. And then I was like, I'm not talking to you guys until there is. It's like with 3 minutes left. I was like, there's just way too much time yet. Way too much time.
Yep.
Hey, Matt, like I was telling you earlier, like Michael said, Game 7 would have been really cool, right? Would have been neat to skate it here. But I'm going to be on a plane over the Atlantic when that game is happening on Wednesday. Wow. So, I mean, I would have been that rude person who would have just literally wooed or just said, yeah, and fist pumping, LFG with my kids. But I wanted to do it in the comfort. I wanted to not risk the Vegas Golden Knights finding that that next gear. So yeah, same thing. Let's just close this out. Let's show them what it looks like to, to be the best team, and it doesn't matter where we skated, because it's still going to come back to Raleigh. So
yeah,
Right.
it was.
And you could tell that's the way the Bussy was playing too. Bussy did not want a game 7.
No.
He did not want that pressure of the game 7, and I'm so glad that he's still on his head for the game.
All right, so let's do this here real quick.
Hey, and Matt, I have one other thing to say.
Yes, sir.
Bryn, over the last 2 seasons has become a massive Hurricanes fan. In fact, they've got with their company, they've got suites a couple times for us to go and watch some games.
Ooh.
Plus, anything and everything Canes she eats up. I mean, anything and everything. I get more texts from her with information about what's happening. So she's the one that's keeping me up with it now. So
that's awesome, because there's a lot of times where Sarah gets information from me before
she gets madder than I used to get.
Oh yeah, she does.
Yes. and that's saying something for you, Vic, because how many different angry tweets did we get in our chats? Do we get in our posts?
Well, what about on Lockbear when I actually get angry?
Hey, I never got angry at anything. I don't know what you guys are talking about. This is blasphemy I'm hearing here. So
They're lying again.
Who, me? Never. I would never do such a thing. So
Me and Scooter are victims. We've seen it all.
Oh yeah, whatever, Sarah.
Joel and Allie, are you guys there? I know you guys popped off, but I think are you guys back?
Yeah, we're back.
Yeah, might have lost them. So let me.
They're back.
We'll see. Yeah, but I don't hear them or anything like that. So.
Oh, I hear them.
You do?
Yeah.
You hear them? All right, let's try now. All right, there you are, Joel. All right, real quick, because I appreciate you guys coming on here to start this show with me. But I know it's a busy Monday and it's 5:20, so I do not want to take up all of your guys' time. So, Joel and Allie, I assume very happy with the decision to make this crazy trip out to Vegas at the last moment.
100%.
Yeah, great. That's great.
100%, and would never take it back. Would do it time and time again, over and over. It was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to do this here real quick. Let me do this, and then let's there we go. Now you're back up there. So now everyone can hear and see. Okay. Yeah, I can't imagine what that had to be like there live. I was so glad when I just was strolling through Facebook this morning and I saw the post that Allie put up. I'm like, oh my God, let me try to. And I didn't even know for sure if I was going to be able to reach you guys, because I'm like, they could be on a plane. Who the hell knows where you guys could even be? But I'm so glad, A, I was able to reach you guys. B, see you guys again. It's always good seeing Joel and I go way back to our reffing days, dealing with a lot of bullshit in the old North Carolina Youth Hockey Association. So, so are you still reffing at all, Joel, or are you done?
I'm pretty much. I mean, I want to go back to reffing again so bad, but work is so unpredictable. I work in as a civil engineer in construction industry now in deep foundation testing, and it's it's hard enough right now. I play men's league Sunday nights, and it's hard enough for me to commit to being there every week for that. And and if I cancel on that, there's 10 other guys that can go and play. If I sign up to go do reffing and I gotta leave town for work, there's how it is. It's hard to get people to cover, and so it's a commitment that I can't make right now because of my career. Hopefully, eventually, we'll grow our business and be big enough to where I've got enough, people around me that I can commit again, somewhat more reliably and get back to reffing, because the reffing, it was my favorite part of the game for a long time, and I love playing, I love coaching, but I had a lot of fun reffing, and I think it's a great way to give back to the game, and it's a part of the game that needs a lot of help.
And it's funny because that education never leaves. The people in Vegas were asking Joel questions last night. They would be like, "Oh, I don't know. Ask this guy. He knows what he's talking about."
It's so funny when anyone realizes they got a ref in the crowd with them, because then they're like, well, was that really a penalty? Yes, it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Did you guys see the face-off violation penalty?
Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
I was surprised they caught that. I was happy to see it, but I was surprised they caught
Punched it right out of
How
there.
about the 2 high
Yeah.
stickings too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really thought overall the Stanley Cup final was pretty well officiated. I really don't have any complaints through any of the games.
No.
I mean, I thought they did a good job through it. Now, some early rounds of the playoffs, those could be up for discussion, but I really thought the 4 they had in the finals did a really, really solid job all around. So
Yeah, of course,
all
I
right.
had to take a picture during the anthem of the best team on the ice, so I got it zoomed in on the 4
Good.
referees.
Yeah, I think I saw. Yeah, that's the way it should be. So
I don't know if y'all made the connection yet, but I'm your sister's former student.
Yeah, that's my daughter Sarah. That's the one that knows your sister, Joel.
Hi, Sarah. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
In this crazy weird world where everyone somehow in this chat somehow at least knows each other
It's
through
a
something.
hockey
So
world.
it
Yeah.
is for sure. So all right, I will let you two go because I know you guys are just getting back in town. But great to see you guys. Great to reconnect. We'll try
You
not to
too,
be
Matt.
strangers on Facebook as much, but it's great talking with you guys. Okay.
You too. Thank
Everybody
you.
All right. Yep. Take care, guys.
Canes.
Go Canes.
All right, so that I just it's so cool when I got to talk with them a little bit earlier. So let me see here. Do I need to bring Scooter back out there? And now Scooter can at least be on here too. All right. So Michael here, real quick. So what do you do now? What do you do there for an encore? So you still got your season ticket package, right? A little bit.
Yeah, I went to like half of the home games this year. Like I said, I had tickets to Game 7. Didn't want to go. But yeah, we're re-upping for next season.
Obviously.
We're back up in the 300s. I'm in 329.
Nothing wrong with the 300s there. That's always a good seat.
Buddy of mine just texted me today. He's like, "Hey, do you still have tickets?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I think I want to get in on that next season. So we might be getting a few more."
It's amazing how a successful season might help
Right.
with that, with getting people. And hey, anyone that now wants to get in the building is great. I saw all the watch parties in Raleigh looked amazing. So the parade's what, Saturday?
Saturday at 11.
Who's trying to go? Any of you guys going to try to go, or
I don't know.
50-50? Hopefully someone gets to go.
I actually got
Yep,
action
we're
on
going to try anyway.
Yeah. Who's ordered their championship shirts already?
We already picked. Bryn's already picked them up. So
Where'd you get them, at the Eye or
No, at Dick's Sporting Goods in North Hills. Harley got them at there in Hudson. Got them there.
Nice.
At North Hills.
There you have it. Frank, any shirts purchased yet, or?
No, just because we're going to be gone for 2 weeks overseas, and I don't want any porch pirates possibly getting any ideas.
Well,
so we'll procure them when they've done their second round of printing. But yeah, we're definitely getting gear for sure.
Excellent news. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys jumping on. This was a lot of fun to be able to do. And here's a little fun story. And so for those that don't remember, Ash was born, my youngest daughter was born in 2006 during the hockey season. And of course, we all remember during June 19th, the Lockberry Court story of that whole fun evening of going to that Game 7. But I don't think it's a coincidence that then Teddy is born, my grandson, during the hockey season, this hockey season, 20 years later, and the Canes win the cup again. So I've just told the kids, clearly somebody just needs to have another child during the next hockey season, and we have back-to-back champions. That's the way it sounds to me.
That logic works for me.
Good to know.
Exactly. That's the way I look at it. So
That's Matt logic.
yeah. Couch tour heaven. Maddie was at Game 6 in 2006. I was. That's true. We'll be there. So somebody else is going to the parade. I love it. All right, guys. I appreciate your time. So thank you guys so much for joining in. And hey, if you want to watch the rest of the show, feel free to watch it. Throw in some comments and stuff. We are going to talk some other sports though today. I do promise. And then we are going to still break down the series too. But thank you guys so much for joining us.
Later.
Matt. Bye.
See you guys. Appreciate it. All right, there's one, and then let me come over here, and we'll take out Vic, and then we'll take out Mike. All right, there we have it, guys. So let's do this. I'm going to do a real quick timeout. We'll get the board set up here for the show, and then we will be right back after these words. All right, now let's see here. This one should work here, I think, right? Let's try this. No, that's not what I want. That's just a lot of me.
That's what you want.
There we go. All right, so there's the three of us, at least, and hopefully here this video will pop up. So while we wait here, of course, you know, you can watch us on Facebook, Facebook, YouTube. You can tell my mind is just everywhere still. You can listen to us the next day on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Pocket Cast, Podbean, and Castbox. So we're going to try to get up here, if there it comes. And of course, so this might be it for a while, guys, because there probably won't be any other big anthems until we get into the start of football season. So we end our "Oh Say Can You Sing" likely for a little bit with Carnell Johnson from Game 4. It was really good. He does what he always does. That's a 48. Avery Wilson came back for the Game 4 in New York, which I was really happy with because I thought he had a really difficulties with Game 3 just because with everything with Trump being there, like it was just hard. Like it's a hard anthem to do when you got some people cheering, some people booing. I'm glad they brought him back for a clean version, and he was really good. I gave him a 47. Really solid. Adam Lee Decker, Game 5 was the last couple times he tried to hit these notes that he just can't hit, so he got a 42. Carnell then last night in Vegas, same thing. He got one of his lower scores, a 44, because he tried to hit a note and he normally hits it and he didn't, and it didn't sound good. And then Mickey Guyton did the anthem in San Antonio for Game 5. She sounded nervous at the start, got better, but a bit screamy to me at times. And I don't like it when people scream, and also was a little bit slow. So I gave her a 42. So there we have all the anthems now for the year. Any anthem love out there from you two? Or so, I know it's just me, but nothing.
I saw Carnell last night, so that was pretty good. You know.
Yeah, he was. But
I get where you're coming from with all the other stuff. I understand. Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, so there's where we're at now. A lot of 450s, a couple 149 out there, a lot of 48s, some 47s, 46, 45s, and then it gets a little bit lower and stuff like that. So and then like if we come up here, like I said, I think for Carnell, I think last night was his worst score ever. Let's see. Yeah, 44. That's his lowest score. They say the lowest before that was a 46. So there you have it. So there are anthem funds, as always. And then so let's get into the weekend drive-through real quick. Some quick hits from the weekend. Of course, the Carolina Hurricanes were not the only team to win a championship. The New York Knicks did this on Saturday as well. They beat the Spurs 4-1. Just like there's a lot of craziness that happened with the NHL stuff. The NBA did not separate either. San Antonio had a 10-point lead in every game of this series, yet loses it 4-1, which is kind of crazy. Jalen Brunson wins the MVP, scores 45 points in the final game. Just kind of a weird series. It's seemed closer than what it actually ended up being, but New York always just seemed to find a way. Of course, the colossal choke in Game 4 by San Antonio. Scooter, anything? What are your thoughts on the Knicks winning the NBA Finals for the first time since 1973?
Yeah, I mean it's always interesting when it's like the first time that's ever happened in your life. Like I've never seen the Knicks win because I was born in '74. But yeah, I have a lot of Knicks friends out there, so I'm happy for them. They've been a lot of them are Mets fans too. It's funny because they colors and everything. But they hey, good for them. Going down by 30 and then coming back and winning was insane. I totally watched the beginning of that game, and after it looked really bad. I'm like, what am I doing? So I probably put on some Magnum PI or something. It was Simon and Simon I put on, and I missed the entire comeback.
Turns out from the comments, because I did not know this, Couch Tour Heaven was one Ken Hamill's Showtime, Sarah.
Oh.
So yeah, that was Ken. I did not know that until just now. So hey, how about that? So Ken was in the comments. So Vix and Frank, if you're still listening, Ken was part of the show. You know, he just didn't want to come on. He's shy. So, but the Knicks win this thing. Yeah, I know he's not, but it's fun to say. So, I was happy for the Knicks too, and a lot of their fans. It's good to see. You know, I like it when these tour bases win. And look, you know, San Antonio's not going to be far out of this thing either. So, Sarah, did you have anything on it?
So I didn't really watch it. A lot of I think I was working that night. Shocker. There's a lot of my coworkers were just making jokes about how New York's gonna blow up. Which I think it was decently accurate just from seeing all the videos and news articles of people getting arrested and everything. It's really crazy how the difference, at least right now, with Raleigh celebrating their cup and New York City. One's better than the other, but I'm just like slightly biased. I think we all kind of like saw the Knicks winning in a weird way. Again, I don't really know much ball in that sense, but I mean, hey, good for them.
Well, and you know, there's a couple shows that will definitely cover this. I know the Tuesday Night Flight will cover this a lot, and of course, Nothing But Net on Wednesdays. And I do want to give a shout out to Percy, who is on Nothing But Net a lot. He is a diehard Knicks fan. Thomas McAfee, who used to be in my fantasy football league with Scooter, knows. A huge Knicks fan. So look, as equally happy as I am with my Canes winning, I am equally happy for them. And I think that's, and I brought this up on the Sunday morning in the chat thing. I think that's what I like most about our little podcast. Like, we don't do the fake barstool stuff where we show people watching and get the fake angry and stuff like they do. Like, everything that you see on our shows is just genuine love for our teams, and I kind of like that we do it this way, as opposed to the angry, like so mad at this going on, and the video crap that people put out there. So I'm glad that we do it the way that we do it.
The Knicks are an awful franchise. Screw them.
Right.
Screw you.
Right.
Like
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, that exactly. Like the second they lose a game and they just.
I can do that if you want.
No. I like our way better. So, quick World Cup: U.S. defeated Paraguay in their first game 4-1. They get Australia on Friday, June 19th. Look, I'll admit I'm not the hugest soccer fan. I know the World Cup a lot of people love. Apparently, the game that I've got here showing from today is a little bit not of an upset per se, because it was a 0-0 tie, but the fact that Cape Verde tied Spain at 0-0 appears to be a moderate upset, and just in the fact that Spain did not win that game. Scooter, are you watching any of the World Cup at all?
Yeah, I mean, that USA game was amazing. That first half was just an incredible. I'm not a huge soccer fan either, but you know, when it comes to World Cup and here in the States, there just is something about that because it's so localized now. And so that whole team was they did great. Pulisic, he kind of got injured. Hopefully he'll be back for the next one. And the Cape Verde game today, that 0-0 tie against Spain, that is a huge thing, because like Cape Verde is like the size of DC, and it's a small little bunch of, you know, it's like 5 different islands just west of what's in West Africa, but like Tunisia and stuff like that. And it's just such a small little country, so good for them. That's a win. It's a big time win.
It is. And if you do, you know, for anyone needing your soccer fix, I know Flying Brian is a huge World Cup fan. He will be covering this on Unapologetic Sports tomorrow at 6:30. So that's your place to see that there for sure. Sarah, have you caught any of the World Cup at all?
Yeah, it's been on our TV all the time at work. There's so many. I'm not even gonna name all of them. Yeah, obviously U.S. winning their first one. I can't remember who I was talking to. But it's like, oh yeah, like U.S. and like they're actually like saying like, oh, U.S. is actually like not great at soccer, which I mean makes sense in a way. And then of course we beat the Paraguay 4-1. I'm just like, what? Okay. Another crazy game: Germany versus why is it dipping on me? Who did they play? Anyways,
they gave the first goal and then ended up winning like 6-1.
7-1, yeah. Absolutely insane. I have a running joke with my friend just to root for Scotland for the entire World Cup. So Scotland forever. Start playing the bagpipe. I love Scottish culture. It's so fun. So I'm rooting for Scotland.
I should wear my kilt.
Yeah, exactly.
Next show, Scooter.
That's right.
I like it. Next show we can do that for sure. So
Absolutely.
all right. So there's that. Let's get into a little baseball. The College World Series is up and running too. North Carolina isn't off doing. They beat West Virginia yesterday, so they will play the winner of this game tonight between Georgia and Oklahoma. The winner of that will be the winner of the bracket where nobody has lost a game, and they will go into the finals, which is the best 2 out of 3. Old Miss and Alabama is now officially eliminated. When I wrote this, that they were down 11-2 in the 7th inning, but that is now a final score. So Old Miss and Alabama are officially out. Tomorrow, Troy and West Virginia play again. The winner of that game will will stay alive. The loser, of course, is out. The loser of that one will play the winner of Georgia and Oklahoma's loser against Texas, because Texas is the one that just beat Alabama. So Texas plays the loser of the game tonight, and then that's how that all works out. So 2 teams are officially out. After tomorrow, 2 more teams will be out, or after tonight, sorry, after tomorrow, 2 more teams will be out, and then we'll be down to our final 4. And then by next weekend, I think next weekend is when we have our final series between the 2 teams that are left. So I've caught a few of the games. I saw a little bit of the North Carolina West Virginia game because I thought that was going to be an interesting matchup. North Carolina won that one 5-2. Scooter, have you caught any of the college baseball?
Yeah, I've seen a few in and out. Friday night, I was able to watch a whole bunch of it, but I was doing a dynasty draft for NFL that night. But yeah, I mean, you really want to see UNC and Georgia those 2 are probably the best teams, so I'd love to see them battle it out for the title.
Sarah, any college baseball on while you've been working?
Not college baseball, no. I at least do know just from a bunch of people on my social media, because a bunch of them are UNC fans or go to the school themselves, posting about UNC's great run, which I don't hate. I don't have a strong rivalry for baseball as much as I do football. So I'm slightly okay with North Carolina doing good.
I'm debating if
Carolina
I'm going to.
Carolina has 4 transfers that are leading the team, home runs, everything.
Exactly, they're doing really good. Yeah. So
one of the guys from George Mason, he's from Alexandria, Virginia.
Oh, cool.
You said the word hate, Sarah, so to me that counts. You said you said I don't have hate, but you still said hate, so therefore.
Yeah, I said I don't hate. I don't have a hatred for college baseball as I do college football. I'm still clarifying that I hate college football, that rivalry, and technically basketball counts too, because Duke, God, the triangle is so funny. I was talking about that with somebody. It's so funny how we're all united over this one hockey team. You've got Duke fans, UNC fans, and NC State fans all being nice to each other.
Yep, and that will end probably Saturday after the parade, and then they'll all go back to hating each other.
We're all going to go back to hating each other.
for at least another week here. So, all right, let's do a little bit of baseball. Mizorowski, the pitcher for Milwaukee, just continues his dominancy through a Maddox earlier in the week. One hitter, 95 pitches, strikes out 15, and he had a fastball hit 104.5 as a starter, which is just insane. He's clearly on his way towards the Cy Young. Scooter, what do you think about this young man and what he's doing in Milwaukee?
I mean, not only did he have 104 MPH, he had 103, 103, 102, 103, 101, 103, 102. And that was just, and he's going against Bryce Harper, Trey Turner. This is against Philly, who's been hot.
Yeah, they have.
Dramatically high. But they couldn't do anything against Mizorowski, and he was sick. I mean, 95 pitches, that's it. I mean, he totally dominated that game. I just hope that he doesn't have to throw 104, 103 and all that kind of stuff like that too much, because we don't want to see a blown out elbow.
I know that's my only fear is how long will that last for him. But who knows? We'll see how that all plays out for sure. So
in that game, it was interesting. In that game, their catcher, I forget his name, Castilla. I think it was Castilla. He challenged the umpire twice.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how good Mizorowski's pitches were, that the umpire, both were really bad calls. One of the pitches was nearly just a little south, but down the middle, and it was in the box, clearly in the box.
Right.
And that was sort of one of those, like they were all laughing about it because that's one of those the umpire couldn't figure. He wasn't catching up. That's how fast he was throwing. So
yeah,
and that was really interesting, and because you've been talking about the replay part recently a lot. So that really was a part of that game as well.
Yep. Yeah. Very, very. He's just fun to watch. Like I saw bits and pieces of that game, and it's just crazy. Like you just gotta get the bat head out there and just hope you make contact with it, I guess. And no one is.
I mean, all the Phillies all those great players on the Phillies just absolutely look like they were little children. And by the way, Mizorowski, the dude looks so tall.
Yeah.
Like he looks like a child. His face, he has a child face, but he's so tall.
And it's just that it's like he's almost like throwing from like 3 feet with how tall he is, because just how quickly that ball gets into home plate. It's just it's almost not even fair. So but hey, good for him. So Sarah, anything on Mizorowski?
I couldn't tell you.
That's okay. And then bad Saturday was the Guards ended up beating the Tigers 3-1, but just a real brutal injury day. First they lose Angel Martinez. He's looking like it's just going to be a contusion where a ball hit him off the leg. So that one's okay. Then Chase DeLauder runs into the wall. He's got a rib contusion.
Yeah.
They've not officially put him on the IL yet, but seems like it's going that route. And then unfortunately, Jose Ramirez takes a ball right off the wrist bone. He does fracture the hamlet bone. He is going to be out anywhere from 5 to 7 weeks. And that's the big one, because what's crazy is I heard the stat today. Jose, since 2016 or since 2020, has missed 20 games. He's going to miss 5 to 7 weeks on this injury. So he's always stayed healthy, and even when he's gotten these little ones, he's been able to come back. This one's not going to be that type of injury. Jose is the Cleveland Guardians. It's going to be really, really interesting to see how this team responds to that brutal injury. Scott?
Yeah, that always stinks when your best player and the trustworthy guy on the team is out for a bit, which does happen. I guess it just finally caught up to him. But I mean, Cleveland's still looking good. I know they've been like 4-6 the past 10 games, but they won a few games in a row. And then I know. Oh, I forgot the guy from last Monday night who hit. You were there. He had that crushing home run.
Oh, on Monday.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Did we hit a home run on Monday? Oh yeah. Did we hit one of them? Oh yeah. I can't remember who the hell.
I forgot who it was, but that was just a sick home run. And then is that Rokas? Is he the guy at shortstop?
Rocchio.
Oh,
yeah.
Dude, he had that crazy play this past week. That was insane.
Like
so
the Willie Mays catch almost. They did, so for sure. So Sarah, I know you're going to be up here again and finally get to see a game, and unfortunately, no Jose for you.
No Jose.
No Jose for you. So, all right. What else we had? The White Sox. Like we talked about them a little bit last week. They are now in a first place tie with Cleveland at 38 and 32. I think technically by percentage points, the White Sox are a little bit ahead, but this team seems to be real. They just keep out hitting everybody.
Yeah, they got a new guy on their team. I think his name is like Braden Montgomery. He's not the other Montgomery, because I got the other Montgomery on my fantasy team, and I saw that Montgomery had like all this stuff, and I'm like, holy crap, this is awesome. But this other Montgomery, it was like his first game ever in the major leagues. He hits the game-winning home run, and it's his first home run ever in his first game, and it's a game-winning home run. He's like, he doesn't even know his players' names on the team.
Yeah, he's just crazy. It's just, and that whole team, like they just hit. That's all they do is hit home runs. So it'll be interesting to see if that can keep up. But I think it's good that the White Sox aren't the laughing stock of the league anymore. So we'll see how long it lasts.
Certainly not.
No. And then in the NL Central, we're finally seeing some teams fall under the 500 now. The Reds just continue their plummet. They've lost 8 out of their last 10. Pittsburgh is at 500 now. They've lost 7 of their last 10. So this seems like Pittsburgh does this every year. They start off really strong and then just kind of keep sliding. So it seems like that slide is here again.
Yeah, Skeens just had an incredible outing the other night. So I mean, we'll see how that works out. But he's just an amazing player that they have.
Yeah, the Reds just have no bullpen. If their starters do not get them a big lead, no lead is safe with that team either. So,
yeah.
Anthony hasn't checked in yet, but his Miami Marlins are definitely playing good ball. They've won 8 of their last 10. They are back up to 36 and hanging around that wild card picture race. With them and Philly now are back on top. Getting it going. I mean, the Braves are so far ahead of everybody else, but they're in that wild card mix. They're a fun team to watch. I'm kind of I like seeing these teams that haven't been in it in a while, kind of maybe showing some signs of life. Scooter, anything on the Marlins?
Yeah, well, I mean, Stowers missed a whole bunch of the first half of the. He missed several weeks to a month almost out there. But he's come on. He's hit 5 home runs, 22 RBIs. So he's kind of leading that that team back into contention again. So that's good to see. Stowers is a really good player.
Yep, I agree. Sarah, anything else you want to throw out there baseball wise?
I wasn't able to clear my name last week, but I swear I did not do any voodoo things on Aaron Judge's injury. That was just mere coincidence that he got injured. Womp womp.
Womp womp.
Womp womp.
And let's just not forget about the Nats. They're 37-35.
All about the Nats, baby.
Yeah, don't forget about those guys. They're 6-4 the past 10, and they've won 2 in a row, and they've won 3 straight series. So don't forget about these guys. They're still in, and they still have the second most wins on the road.
We can also put out there that obviously things are still up for debate with whatever happens next season with whatever MLB decides to do. But there is another contender in the MLB Raleigh extension. We got, I forgot his name, but it's another billionaire, and that's all that matters. And basically more money. So the net worth for MLB Raleigh is getting higher. So I'm optimistic, but I think it's looking good for us.
I think not only that, but the city of Raleigh clearly showed they're ready for another professional sports team. I mean, the outpouring for the Canes, the fact.
Could you imagine tailgating for a baseball game? Just hot dog, we already do that. Come on, we got it is meant to be here.
Yep, I'm rooting for it. I'd love to see it happen. So, you're right. They do have the ownership group in place to make it happen now. So, I think for whatever reason, MLB seems to still really love Nashville, but I think Raleigh would be a smart choice. But we'll see. If they expand one team, they're going to expand 2 teams. But who knows if this work stoppage happens, what they end up doing.
The name of the man, I can't remember it at the moment. But he's from West Hartford, Connecticut.
Oh, right. You were saying
and he tried to buy the Connecticut Sun and move them to the Hartford Civic Center a few years ago, and that didn't work out. But I forgot his name at the moment. And West Hartford's right next to Avon, where I grew up. West Hartford's where University of Hartford is. That's a lot of Hartfords, by the way.
Ken back. Knicks in 5, Canes in 6, Mets in 7. I'm sorry, Ken. I don't know about your Mets here. They still got a way to go.
Mark Lasry. I found it in the chat.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, so there we have it. So let's do this. Let's do one more quick break, and then Scooter's mind is amazing from Midnight Rider, giving you some mind love there. I love it. So all right, let's do this here. One quick break, then we're gonna come back and let's actually break down what happened in the hockey games, the last 3 games, and then get you ready for what to expect, because this is the real. I know it sounds weird. The season just ended, but these next 2 weeks, as far as the NHL schedule goes for the 26-27 season, is where basically a lot of stuff is going to happen, and we're going to get into that right after this. All right, we're back, and it's time to do the official drive to the net segment. This one will be a little less of the cheerful side of it. So we'll start off with the minor league playoff update in the East Coast Hockey League, the Kelly Cup Finals. This one's been a home team has won every game. So Kansas City started off winning the first 2 games. They are, of course, the St. Louis Blues. Seattle then wins the next 3, or excuse me, Florida wins the next 3 all at home. They win 2-1 in overtime, 3-2 in overtime. Then they win Game 5, 5-2. Game 6 of the series is tonight, back in Kansas City. Game 7, if necessary, is going to be Wednesday. Florida is and I always talk about them. These guys are the team of the East Coast Hockey League over the last decade or so. Kansas City, I think, was the better team going into this, but now Florida's got old Mo on their side, so we'll see if this thing ends tonight. And then in the American Hockey League, this one, Toronto is up on Chicago 2-0. This was the first 2 games where actually Toronto won them both in Chicago 4-2 and 5-4. Chicago as they field the Carolina Hurricanes, which Carolina is trying to become the first franchise since 1995 when the New Jersey Devils won the Stanley Cup and their Utica affiliate won the AHL. It has not happened since then. Not a great start for that to happen yet. Chicago loses the first 2 games at home. The next 3 are in Toronto, with Game 3 being tomorrow night, Game 4 Thursday, Game 5 would be Friday if necessary, and then if necessary, Game 6 and 7 go back to Chicago next Sunday and the next Tuesday. But Toronto is off and running on this one, so it's possible that Canada could win the American Hockey League title and the PWHL title. They just, of course, will not win the Stanley Cup yet again for another year, which is always fun to see. Scooter, any thoughts on the minor league hockey stuff?
No, I mean the series that's going to be, it's a good series. I expect Chicago to come back on this one to at least 2-1, 2-2. But I'm disappointed because it's on some crazy streaming network, and I'm not spending $25 to watch it. Sorry.
And it used to be on AHL TV, and it was at least somewhat affordable for a monthly subscription. Not that I did it, but yeah, this new thing that they go through with this Flow Hockey, it's like ridiculous what they're trying to charge for. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense if you're, especially for minor. It's almost more for the minor league hockey package than it is if you just got the NHL package through ESPN and Hulu and stuff like that. Like, it doesn't make any sense that they think that they can get that amount of money for it. So, but yeah, there you have it. Is there anything on the
for $10?
Right. Yeah, $10. Yeah, absolutely.
I would have done
it. But nope. Womp womp. Sarah, anything on the minor league hockey?
I mean, I'm definitely rooting for Chicago to come up because I think it would just be a cool stat. But I'm totally aware that it probably won't happen. Being down a 2-0 deficit is very, very interesting. But
we'll see. Exactly. That's the way I look at it too. But all right, so a little bit other news around the NHL. Darnell Nurse has decided that he wants out of Edmonton. He has a no trade clause, so he has given his 3 teams, and these 3 teams are going to sound very similar to the teams that Dylan Larkin said, which I always find interesting. That he wants to go to either Tampa, Florida, or Vegas. Vegas is always on everyone's list, and which is interesting to me, and I get it a little bit. We'll maybe talk a little bit more about that here in a little bit. Florida, I don't see that being a fit. Tampa maybe, but I also don't see Tampa. I just don't see either one of these 3 teams going after Darnell Nurse at this point in time.
Yeah, I mean, those are the teams I would, I might look at Dallas too if I was Nurse, but Edmonton probably wouldn't want to send him there, or the Vegas. But
right.
He wants out. Yeah, why not go to Florida where there's championships that have been won down there?
Yep, I agree with that part. I just don't know if that's a good fit for Florida.
I don't know either. Yeah, I didn't do the research on that.
I don't know that he would go well with Mo's system. I think Mo would want more out of him than what Nurse wants to give at times. Because there are times to me where, look, he's a great offensive defenseman. I think there's times where he, let's just say, does not necessarily take his defensive positioning quite as well as I think Mo would be expecting. So maybe that's the adjustment that he needs. Who knows? But we'll see. So, Sarah, any thoughts on Darnell Nurse?
I mean, maybe it could be a multiple reason things, but like I just feel like Nurse, I mean, at least this past season, he just hasn't been as good as he usually is. I mean, you usually see him in a lot of conversations, why is defenseman tripping the defenseman trophy? The name is
trophy?
Huh?
Norris,
yeah. I don't know why it was tripping on me. Like you always see him like up for debates in Norris trophies, and I didn't see that this season. I mean, it could just be he's not having a good season like he usually is, or it could be because he's in Edmonton and there's not really a lot of sources around for him to improve. Because you don't really have great goaltending, and the only offense you have is McDavid and Draisaitl. So I'm not surprised that he wants out. It will be interesting to see who actually does end up taking him. My preference would be going to Tampa, but I think Tampa's got to. I know Tampa's got to make a lot of moves this season. I'm expecting that they will, and obviously we'll talk about that in the upcoming shows. But I could more so see Tampa trying to put all in. Of course, Vegas and Florida, they like doing their things too. They've had history of being a little questionable of their salary cap, so I wouldn't be surprised if they somehow got him too.
And we did the salary cap going next year too, which will be interesting to see how this all plays out. But yeah, next week's show we'll get into some of that stuff about guys to watch and maybe some possible trades that could happen.
I just want to say about Darnell Nurse.
Yep.
A lot of people don't know this, but his sister Kia plays in the WNBA, and she's a two-time UConn championship. And his uncle is Donovan McNabb.
I did not know about the uncle part. I knew this.
Yeah.
The sister was playing there. Midnight Rider helped me get another show plug.
By the way, his cousin. I'm sorry.
Tuesday.
Sorry, his cousin plays for the Everblades.
Oh, right.
I think his name is Isaac.
I think so. That could be right. Midnight Rider helping me with the show plug. The NBA draft show is going to be next Tuesday at 8 p.m. So they're going to get you ready for that. Yeah, because the NBA draft is right here too with the NHL draft. They are basically right on top of each other, which I do love. All right, so here we are. TV ratings were out for Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals, and this was more good news for them. 5 million peaked at 6.2. That is the largest crowd since 2002. We'll not see the numbers come out yet for Games 4, 5, or 6. I'm hoping to see the same thing. What's interesting, the numbers have been really good in the U.S. They've been down in Canada, which is not, I don't think, a surprise with it being Vegas and Carolina. The last couple of years, they've had Edmonton in it, so they've had a reason. They've had a Canadian team in it. So the fact that it's down from those two doesn't really surprise me in Canada, but it's good news. ABC could not be more happy between the ratings they got for the NBA Finals, which were setting records every night. So was the NHL with highest ratings, in a long time. So this is good news for the NHL. Now the question that I pose to you, Scott, is will Gary Bettman figure out a way to blow this before the start of next season?
I mean, I think I said the last time 2 weeks ago, something when I was on last, is that the ratings game, it's the playoffs. It's the playoffs. It's the playoffs in the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. That's meaningful. That's entertaining. People want to watch that. They don't want to watch Vancouver versus Calgary in the 68th game of the season. They want to watch Game 4, Game 5, Game 1. They want to watch this stuff, and especially with the U.S. winning the gold in, I guess you can say, all three major Olympics. They're striving high. I mean, you're not going to get much. Trust me, you're not going to get anything from the NHL draft. This is not the NFL draft.
No.
Now you'll get nerds like me going, ooh, but other than that, no. And then free agent season's interesting, but it's not like NFL free agency. It's not going to be a big thing. It's just you got to get that back into roll that back into next season. But the NBA and the NHL they seem to be quite popular right now. The NBA has a resurgence, if you will, I think, especially because of the Knicks, something new. So that should be interesting to see. Maybe they can get something going together. Gary Bettman is the former vice president of the NBA, or vice chairman.
Sarah, do you think Bettman will screw this up somehow during this offseason?
Yes.
Yes. It's just that easy. So, all right. So now let's get into the finals here. Of course, we were at where we left off after last show. Vegas had won that crazy Game 3, and I at least was kind of wondering, okay, how does Carolina come out after being down 4-0? They tied that game up at 4 just to lose it kind of on a fluky goal in double overtime. How is that Game 4 going to go? Carolina does make the decision. They leave Freddie Anderson now. Freddie Anderson, the team has said that he had a knee injury. I'm not still sold that it wasn't a concussion. But whatever it is, they make the move to Brandon Bussey, and Bussey just was just absolutely incredible. They win this game 5-3. It kind of had a similar start to some of the other ones. Stankoven scores first, then Justin Blake makes it 2-0. Mark Stone gets one to make it 2-1. And then you have the goal from Jordan Staal to make it 3-1. And then you have what's happened in the first 3 games of the series. The team down by 2 goals comes back and ties it, which in this case was Vegas. So they come all the way back to tie this game at 3. And then the game winner scored by Jordan Staal, who scores another goal in this series. And this one is where he's kind of like diving on his belly, puts it in. They add an empty netter for the 5-3 victory. After game 4, these were some of the crazy numbers through 4 games that this series had. It was the first series to have the first 4 games where the trailing team was down 2 or more goals and came back to at least tied the game. Carter Hart was the first goalie to give up 4 goals in each of the first 4 games. Jordan Staal was the first player since Mario Lemieux in 1992 and Wayne Gretzky in 1985 to have 5 goals in the first 4 games. So yes, he is now Jordan Staal is in the same category as Mario Lemieux and Wayne Gretzky. And the losing team has scored 3 or more goals in the first 4 games for the first time ever. So that's where we're at through 4 games. Scooter, did you have any thoughts from game 4?
I mean, Carolina took care of business, as I figured they would, and it's that defense that's sort of stifling, if you will.
Sarah, what were your thoughts on the Carter Hart stat there?
There's this entire series was just really testing my limits. Because
I mean, I threw this right down the middle for you.
I'm going there. I'm getting there. Okay, just give me a second, because this means this is almost more than hate. Okay, this what is a stronger word for hate? I need to start looking up sentiments. I need to start looking up. Yeah, guys, I'm a little hungry. I'm sorry.
Cinnamon toast crunch.
Ooh.
I need to look up stronger words. I need to look up stronger words for hate, because this goes further. And again, I won't go down this rabbit hole. I know the guys are looking forward to the hate counter, because I missed out that chance 2 weeks ago too. Carter Hart is a terrible person. And Brett Howden is also a terrible person, just to put it out there. You have 2 terrible people, and Vegas, the team overall, is also terrible, because just ever since they've become a team, they just have not had anything, they've not had a single struggle. And maybe call it jealousy. I don't know, but just they're a little too spoiled, and it's just absolutely insane that people like Carter Hart and Brett Howden are able to have a career right now. But hey, he said the no means no was just noise. One, that is absolutely terrible to say. That is a terrible response. You think you're cool, but it also just adds up to everything that happened earlier. Terrible response. F-. It's just noise when your entire career was almost at threat because you don't understand the word no. Sorry. But just really ironic, if I do say so myself. But just again, this series was absolutely insane. Give a raise to the guy who caught Carter Hart crying. Sorry, dude, you deserved it. That's me. I would like to almost know the story of the Heart sweatshirts when Gary Bettman was handing out the cup. I don't know what that was for. I don't know what the point of it was. I can maybe accept it if it was family, but that's a hard maybe. That's honestly it's a really, really hard maybe. Just, rock solid bedrock, obsidian, hard maybe. That's disgusting. I'm okay with some Vegas fans just because, I know it's not up to you to have these people on your team, but the fact that you are openly, willingly trying to accept those people it's just those people. That's like you're openly accepting them on your team. It's just like I get it in a sense, but also just that to that extent, no. What are we doing? It's a bad rep. It's a terribly bad rep. So I think it's really great that Carter Hart was able to break a record that he started in the first place too, because the previous one was 4 goals or more, and then after game 3, it just yeah.
Yep.
So I don't know.
Well,
There's a lot more I can go into this. And we're already a little over time, which I think we expected. But
yes.
I hate Carter Hart. I hate Brett Howden. I hate the Vegas Golden Knights. I hate Gary Bettman. I hate John Tortorella. I think it's like what, 5 now?
Yeah.
Okay. There's more. I'm pretty sure there's more.
This is cheating.
Huh?
You're cheating now.
How am I cheating?
There we
How
go.
am I cheating? Okay, I'm gonna look up the Vegas Golden Knights roster, and I will say I hate every single one.
She's gonna come up with 25 people she hates, and I'm gonna lose. I can only say Hartford so many times.
But to be fair, this was supposed to happen 2 weeks ago, and my dumbass forgot I had to work. And then last week I scheduled a movie. Because I'm terrible. I can't remember anything lately, guys. It's so bad. All right.
You guys are killing me. All right. So real quick, let's get game 5. This one was kind of we go back to Raleigh. If you want to call it the most normal game, Vegas does score first on a power play, where Pavel Doriev scores his 11th of the playoffs on a great pass from Jack Eichel, who really didn't do much of the series. Vegas was the first time where I thought they actually had a better first period. But then in the second period, which has been Vegas's period through the first 4 games, so they had outscored Carolina 9-1. Carolina then just kind of takes over in this game, where just Jordan Staal again scores on a great tip from Nikolai Ehlers. That was his 6th of the final, 8th overall. First ends up tied at 1. Then Carolina gets 2 in the second period. Andrei Svechnikov finally gets 1 on the power play. Then Aho adds 1 to make it 3-1. Vegas then appears to really start getting frustrated. They take some bad penalties. Svech scores another power play goal to make it 4-1. Doriev adds 1 to make it 4-2. So now after this game, Carter Hart became the first goalie to give up 4 or more goals in the first 5 games. Staal becomes one of 5 players all time to score 6 in the first 5 games, joining names like Rocket Richard. And he's also the second captain to score 6 or more goals in the Stanley Cup final. The other was Gretzky, who scored 7 in 1985. Brandon Bussey became the first goalie ever to win his first 2 starts in a Stanley Cup final. So just a lot of fun, happens in game 5. Real quick, I'll throw in game 6, and then we can just throw everything out there. This was, of course, last night. Carolina wins at 3-0. Carolina really in games 5 and 6 got to playing their game, dominating it. They held Vegas without a shot for 19 minutes from the first and second period. Brandon Bussey gets his 3rd win, his first shutout. And if you haven't seen any of the videos of him with his family who ended up making it to each one of these games, just really, really great stuff. Taylor Hall, who wins his first Stanley Cup, scores on a pass from Slavin. Jackson Blake adds a goal. Nikolai Ehlers adds the empty net. Netters on this thing. Staal wins the Conn Smythe Trophy. He's the oldest to win at 37, so he wins the Conn Smythe there. Carolina went 16-3. That's the fewest losses since the 1988 Edmonton Oilers. Brandon Bussey, the story of him, he was working at Chipotle 6 years ago. He's waived twice this year, wins 30 regular season games at 26. He's the fastest rookie to 10 and 15 wins ever in the NHL. Then doesn't play for the first 3 rounds because Freddie was really, really good. Then he comes out and wins these 3 games. I think the big difference here is Rod was willing to make that change. And, look, a lot of, and I'll join in you at the end of this one a little bit, Sarah. A lot of these apologists were trying to say, oh, the Carter Hart was playing great. He wasn't. There are some goals that you want your goalie to make the save on. And Vegas has a Stanley Cup winning goalie as a backup, Adin Hill. I don't know what Adin Hill has done to John Tortorella, but he clearly did something to not get any play time at all. I thought that was the difference in this series, that Rod was willing to make the move that for whatever reason, John Tortorella wasn't, and switching goalies. And who knows, maybe if you go to Adin Hill, maybe this is a totally different series. I don't know, but I thought that was interesting. One other last one I want to give, 2 more, and then I'll let you guys throw. Rod joins Toe Blake in Montreal, Hapday in Toronto, and Cooney Whelan in Boston to win a cup as a captain and coach for the same team. Jacob Slavin becomes the first U.S. player to win gold and Stanley Cup in the same year since Ken Morrow did it in 1980 for the Islanders. Ken Morrow, of course, then went on to win 4 straight Stanley Cups for the New York Islanders. And I think that's it. All right, Scooter, go ahead. Any thoughts on all this?
Well, I predicted Carolina a few weeks ago, whenever it was, to win 4-1. So it was 4-2. But Carolina basically did what I was saying that they would. They play really, really, really good defense, and they're going to score when they have to. And I thought both teams, the power plays kind of evened themselves out. And so, I expected them to win in 5 games. They won in 6 games. But look, they were definitely the better team. I don't even know, if Connor Hart, he didn't play that great, of course. You can't win a cup the way he played. His defense in front of him didn't play that great either. And I don't know if they, whatever was going on with that thing. But I didn't see a way that Carolina was losing this series at all. I was totally convinced in the beginning they were going to be the much better team.
I was nervous after game 3 just because the way they lost that game. I wasn't quite sure how they would respond. But the response was amazing.
Games,
I know, but it was the whole, you come back from 4-0 down and you come all the way back to tie it and then don't win that game. How is that going to affect them? And it seemed like it drove them even further. So I've got no complaints at all about it. Sarah, anything else you want to throw on the Stanley Cup final here?
I hate Carter Hart. I hate the Vegas Golden Knights.
These don't count.
These don't count. Scott's overruled. He says these don't count. They've already been stated. Yeah, you don't get double counts. So.
I don't get double?
No. And I will throw this out because this is kind of a perfect lead into our last little subject here. So what's next for the NHL? Remember, next year we go from 82 games to 84. So we're adding 2 games in for next year. The end of the e-bug as we know it, where there's just a goalie that's randomly sitting in an arena. Starting next year, teams will carry a third goalie. There is certain rules of this goalie, like you can't bring Henrik Lundqvist back and have him be your emergency goalie as the third goalie. They have to not play the game in the NHL, but they have to play professionally. And basically, this guy's going to be paid to travel with the team, which is a really nice gig. He's going to be paid with the team to travel and probably never play a game, but he might. So I don't know how much this guy's going to make, but it's a good gig if you can get it for sure. So just a couple of reminders for that. So here's the calendar. Starting, I think it's either Friday or Saturday is when this official season will end. The next season starts, and that's when you're going to start being able to see teams make trades. And I think that's where we're going to see more things happen because, like us, if you've been ever watching this, the draft is on the 26th and 27th. Most teams, if they're going to try to get picks for this year, are going to want to make those trades before the 26th and 27th. NHL free agency starts on July 1st. We've talked about the UFA class this year. It had potential at the beginning of this year, but so many guys have signed deals. There's not that much out there. We will get into that as we get into some future shows. But that's kind of the calendar. I will say this for anyone, if you hate the Carolina Hurricanes and how Tulsi didn't win GM of the Year this year, I do not know, but that's a whole different story. Their AHL team's in the final. They've got $10 million in cap space. Oh, and they also have Aho, Jarvis, Ehlers, Stankoven, Blake, Slavin, and Miller all locked up till 2031. So if you're hoping that the Carolina Hurricanes are going to be one and done, I got bad news for you because they've got a lot of these core guys locked in for a long, long time. The only real big guy that they got to get done a deal on is Nichushkin, who was their rookie defenseman, and he's even a restricted free agent. So if somebody does try to do something with him, they can match that contract if they want to. So that's where we're at for next year.
I just want to say one thing about this Taylor Hall. Okay, so he's a very good player, and I know that we went through this little stream last night with you guys, but he's been around for like 16 years.
Yeah,
and he was the guy. He gets traded from one team to another. He's going to be the guy that brings us the cup. And then it didn't work, and then he goes somewhere else. But it was not his fault why it didn't work. He kept being a great player that get traded, and so there's a lot of stuff hanging on, but he always plays 110%. He is a heart, soul, and he was drafted #1 overall in like 2010 by Edmonton. That was on this time when Edmonton was so bad. They had like 4 of the 6 #1 picks. I mean, who even remembers Niles Yakupov? You know,
right?
Nobody. I don't even think Niles Yakupov remembers Niles Yakupov, but he was another first rounder. But Taylor Hall, good for him. Well deserved. Totally deserves holding that cup. And I was really, I watched that celebration, and obviously Stahl gave the cup to Freddie first. That makes total sense. I get it. And then Freddie goes and looks right at Taylor Hall and gives it to him, because they all understood what that situation was.
Well, actually, he tried to give it to Aho first, and Aho said,
Aho,
Aho's going like this, saying,
exactly.
No, you give that cup to Taylor Hall.
Exactly. That was who it was. I'm sorry. It was Aho who did that for Taylor. And Aho, realistically, I mean, he is Mr. Hurricane.
Yeah.
There's no one who deserves the cup more than him, but Taylor Hall. That was awesome.
We'll talk later about Rod Brindamore too, and I still think, look, if anyone saw him with the cup last night, Google that. Like, him with the cup was just amazing, and then he does the Rod the Bod thing in the locker room, and look, Rod still has an amazing physique. It's what all the Carolina Hurricanes players say, is that their goal is to try to come into camp in better shape than their head coach, and a lot of them don't. Yeah, a lot of them don't. So it's fun, but yeah, so we're going to have a busy couple shows for sure as we get into what's going to be happening next year. So Sarah, anything else on the Carolina Hurricanes and or the NHL for next year before we kind of wrap this thing up?
I believe they're landing at RDU in 20 minutes.
Oh, nice. That'll be fun to see. I'm sure there'll be a good little crowd out there at the airport for sure. So, all right. So let's get into what we've got coming up. Again, next week we're going to do our mock draft. We're just going to do the first round. We'll give you some free agents names to kind of watch of who could be out there for July 1st. And these are names that we'll try to see what's going on with some of these trades. I think if you're going to see a Larkin or Nurse trade, it probably will be before the draft. Then the NHL draft, of course, is the 26th and 27th. So on Wednesday, July 1st, we're going to do a special show starting at noon. We'll recap the NHL draft first round as far as who took what, if there are any surprises that we saw. And then we'll be on live during the first 2 hours of free agency. We'll see how that plays out from 12 to 2 on July 1st. Then we got 2 other big shows coming up on July 20th. Is going to be where we combine with Pretenders and Contenders. And speaking of Coach Devon and Pretenders and Contenders, today he has on Kevin Lewis, who is the course director at Laurel High School, and then also does the game day announcing. And the one gentleman Jack makes his return to the Sideline Junkies as a guest on that show. So it'll be good to catch up with all of them. So that's tonight here in about 45 minutes or so at 7 o'clock. So check that out tonight. But then we have our show coming up on July 20th. It's going to be 4 coaches, 4 officials. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff in youth sports and try to really get a good little thing going with that. And then on July 27th will be the sports pricing out their fans, and we've got some fun stuff there that I'm putting together for that. So that's the drive time stuff. And then Midnight Rider talked about their NBA draft show will be coming up here as well. So Sideline Junkies has got a lot of good stuff coming up here. And let's show that's a little line up there. There we go. And then you got them, like to talk about the Contenders already. Unapologetic Sports tomorrow at 6:30. I believe the guys have asked me to come on at 6:45 to give a real quick hockey recap there. So I'll be joining Flying Brian and Lee Ice. I got to probably try to come up with a flying high and in the freezer, because I know they're going to probably ask me that. And then the Tuesday night flight at 8, and then Nothing But Net at Wednesday. I'm sure they will break. Percy will have a full another. If you didn't seen that yet too, go check out Percy's little show that he did right after the Knicks one with him, and they had Thomas came on there. They showed that video clip of that. Really good stuff. I could watch that stuff all day of guys' teams winning it and their reactions to it. Thursday Night Throwdown, WrestleMania Saturday at 9, and then the Sunday Rise at 11. So there we have it, folks. That is the full lineup coming up. Scooter, any final? Oh, I know you talked about too for coming up the U.S. Open, right?
Oh yeah, U.S. Open's at Shinnecock in the Hamptons in New York, Long Island this weekend. Should be really awesome. Expect. Got to be straight. Got wins coming. Got to be straight, and you have to be methodical, and you have to be precise. So I expect to see Scotty Scheffler and Rory McIlroy maybe we'll get lucky enough to win the final pairings on Sunday, and maybe they'll just go and do a few playoff holes after that.
I like it. Anything else going on in your neck of the woods up there for you?
Not this joint up here, but I did want to add that I don't know, Showtime got to see it yesterday, but in Pennsylvania they had the NASCAR race up in the Poconos, which is kind of up in this area, and Denny Hamlin came from behind and won his 3rd race in a row. So
nice.
I mean, not only is achieved Hall of Fame status, no question what. Maybe he'll finally win his first, as they used to call it back in the day, his first Winston Cup. So he's never won the championship. So I'm rooting on Denny this year, but I want William Byron to win too.
I like that. Sarah, what you got? Any last thoughts?
No, no.
Yeah. Nope. All right.
That's fine.
I do real quick. I want to give again a quick shout out to Big Vic, Little Vic, Frank, Mike, Joel, and Allie for joining us at the beginning. That idea kind of popped in my head last night a little bit of like, hey, it'd be fun if I could get a few Caniacs together to see how everyone celebrated in different areas. Of course, it's funny. We did our little FaceTime thing here and watch them lift the cup and everyone do it. It was fun, to do it that way. It's definitely nice to be able to share that. And especially once I saw that Joel and Allie were there. I mean, like, you can't get a better account than somebody that was there live in the building. Just how cool is that? Just spur the most. So yeah, let's get a flight to Vegas and go to the game. so cool. So I'm glad we did that. It was fun. I appreciate you guys joining in, and of course my other neighbor Ken, who was in the comments. So thanks for your comments in there too. But there you have it, folks. That's this edition of Drive Time. I appreciate your time, and as always, make sure you tell your loved ones that you love them and hug them, because tomorrow is not guaranteed. But hopefully you will be back with us next Monday. And until then, we will see you all later. Adios. Arrivederci. Bye.